My name's Ronan,
And my name's Alec.
and here's our review of the Anantara Koh Yao Yai resorts and villas.
As we arrived at Phuket Airport in the domestic arrivals area, there was someone there with a Antara sign. They asked us to wait for about 5 minutes, then took us to the chauffeur. Took about 15 to 20 minutes to arrive at this hut facility here. Just a short walk or a short little transfer bus away, which we'll show you very shortly, to the boats. In this hut, there's a few complimentary hot and cold drinks. So we were greeted on arrival there with a cold towel, and here's me just helping myself to a Diet Coke.
And then they've also got a outside area which is quite nice, and I think you can sit there and have a cigarette if you wish. The toilets were exceptionally clean for what can be classed as a hut or maybe a bungalow. The toilet, there we go. And then heading back into the inside area, what was a bit of a shame is they had some tacky leather sofas that looked like they'd been there for a while and they'd been used a lot and plenty marked. So now you head out to what can only be called as the Anantara Popemobile. You board this and you head down the pier. You could probably walk down the pier in the same time it takes for it to drive down there, but it was quite fun going along the pier in a large minibus that was completely open. Once you do get to the end of the pier, once everyone's moved out of your way, you're greeted by some very friendly staff who take your luggage from the vehicle. At this point, you don't have your luggages before you get to the hut. They've taken it off you, and you don't see it until you get to your hotel room. And here are the boats that take you over to the island. It was a little bit choppy as we were heading down, so that's why the camera is moving a little bit. But you do have to wear a life jacket once you're on the boat. I'll leave you here with a little bit of footage of the journey over. The journey took about 45 minutes, and as I said, it did get a little choppy.
So after a boat journey lasting around 40 minutes, we are just arriving at the, not very good with boat terms, the pier. And then you kind of walk down this floating pathway and to some stairs, which you go up. And then there's another Popemobile sort of vehicle, which takes you to the resort.
The transfer time from the jetty up to the hotel would probably be about 6-7 minutes. You head up this brand new, clearly jetty way road, and it is a little bit steep and windy, so if you don't like that kind of thing, it may not be a thing. And here we are arriving at what could be described as quite a magnificent yet subdued entrance to the hotel. You're greeted immediately after getting off the Popemobile, and they take you round to the reception area, but what a magnificent view there is on the way.
We were massive fans of the reception area, and we even got complimentary welcome drinks, non-alcoholic drinks on arrival, as well as a snack which I believe consisted of some sort of coconut contraption. One thing that we probably thought they could have done differently was to check us in when we were kind of on the other island, Phuket side, instead of kind of on arrival here. It just took a 10-15 minutes to actually go through all the paperwork, check our passports and all that, and we felt that could have been done beforehand.
And here we are arriving at our room, our first room, which was 2105. And just wow, you can really tell this is a new resort. I would say the rooms are of a 5-star standard, a lovely bathtub with bath salts on top. The bathroom is beautifully equipped. 2 sinks, plenty of towels, and plenty of toiletries. Heading in along, you do get a beach bag, you do get a caftan and a hat, but these do need to be put back before you leave. A separate bathroom, and just wow, look what they did for our arrival onto the island and to their resort. These beach towels I've had before in the Caribbean, but these were just fantastic with the flowers, the eyes, and the cake there for one of our birthdays. Looking at the art wall, not sure why they bothered with that. I know it fills up the space of the wall, but don't know what relevance that has to the island. Great TV. The TV does angle out, so when you're in bed, you can watch it. The sofa was not really that comfy, but you wouldn't be in there much anyway.
So in terms of pools at the resort, there's 3 that we were aware of. There's a kids one, which has a slide. We didn't go to that, but we had a look around the other 2 on site. So this is one which features a swim-up bar, and you can see there's a pool above that which drains into the one that we're in currently. And then there's also a jacuzzi in the one which is above, but it was a bit hidden away. In all honesty, we didn't actually find we didn't discover it until the last day.
One great thing was you never had to wait for a sun lounger at this resort. I think that's one of the most luxurious parts about the resort. Looking at one of the smallest issues I had was at the pool was the music they were playing. It felt like constant lift music on repeat. So it would be great if they could sort of change the music up. It doesn't need to be blaring music, but maybe just some local Thai music even would have probably been better than the music they were playing. Something that was great about this resort was the amazing beach. The sand was just so clean and smooth. The slight issue was as you went into the sea, there were some rocks in the way, but I can't complain in regards to the sun lounges that were on the beach, and they brought over free bottled water, which was great. The sea is a little bit murky, and that's just as the tide was going out, and I don't think that would normally be like that if the water had been stable and the tide wasn't going in or out.
As you can see, hopefully from this video, the resort is quite big, so there are golf buggies which you can ask staff to take you around the resort on to get to the places you need to be. As you can see as well, the resort is very well kept. I think they've got an on-site gardening team that makes sure the place is spotless from a kind of a landscaping and gardening perspective. There were also some bikes as well on offer, although I think one improvement there is that the tyres weren't exactly very well inflated and the brakes were poor.
As you can see, the sunsets were absolutely great at the resort, but let's head down to breakfast on what I can say is probably the most disappointing part of this resort. The breakfast buffet was quite limited for a 5-star hotel that charges in excess of £300 a night, and the fruit wasn't that fresh. One of my comments that I do love is I love pineapple. They didn't have pineapple at one point, and it's not that expensive in Thailand. There was a little salad bar. All the pastries that were left out were incredibly dry. They weren't tasteful. Maybe not bother doing them if you're not going to do them well. There was a lot of Asian cuisine, which you would expect in this type of hotel. The juices were lovely, though, and they had some smoothies. The general atmosphere in the breakfast hall was nice, and they did do freshly cooked eggs, which was a benefit.
In summary, this is a absolutely stunning resort. We have to bear in mind that the resort has only opened in the past few months, so there are going to be some small teething issues, which I think we encountered in all honesty. But I still think this is definitely a place to visit if you want some time away from the busy mainland.
And I think I would echo that. I think there's some things they need to improve on. But just remember, for more videos, which will be coming out soon, on airlines, hotels and more, click that subscribe and like button.